Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. It's one of my replays and I'm in the Shimakaze, at Tier 10 Japanese destroyer. I'm on the map Islands of Ice. It's an arms race game, no carrier and no sub, which is lovely. There is a booster and a Puerto Rico for radar though. And nobody has stopped me from getting the healing buff in the center, which is nice. There seems to be a Harugumo that was just a little bit too late to stop me there. We also got the more hit points buff, so did the enemy team. I mean, those are the ones that spawned on the respective sides. And apparently I told something. I thought those torps already passed the Harugumo. I mean, it could be something else, but it would be really lovely if that was the Harugumo. Because that means it's softened up quite nicely right now. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have two destroyers that are sticking together. Unfortunately, they did not try to go for the reload. But I suppose they are very aggressively attacking the enemy destroyers while all of our support is running away. And the enemy destroyers have a lot less ships with them technically, but I guess the Schlieffen is very close though. And it looks like we've lost our Schultz. If they'd more interested in the objectives, it would have been nice. So hopefully we aren't going to lose them also as well, but we'll see. Meanwhile, I'm trying to grab the next buff. RPF is pointing towards that Clausewitz. Or I presume it's the Clausewitz. There could always be something hidden there. So what are we missing, right? We see the Halland and the Shima and the Harugumo. So there is a Jäger that we are unaware of where it is. It's division with the Izumo, which is here on this side. So there could be a Jäger around. Now fish towards the Clausewitz. I think it is slowing down. We'll see. Speaking of fish, hello there. I think that's gonna work, so... yeah, easy dodge. And I got a fish into the Clausewitz. So Clausewitz could have been hydroing, but it probably had no indication that it was getting torped, or at least I hope it didn't. Now it's possibly hydroing for the follow-up, who knows. I presume I'm now tracking that Jäger, because, well, I'm not tracking Clausewitz, surely. So the Jäger is the most likely culprit to be around here. Now, of course, the Jäger is relatively sneaky. We do have a Hayate here as well, and my support is not that far away. Meanwhile, on the other side, that Maso is entirely cornered. There is the Jäger. Now let's shoot a bit. Now the thing with the Jäger is obviously Jäger has a lot of torps and it has very fast torps, so I need to turn. It also reload relatively quickly. Now it doesn't look like they were ready yet, which is good for me because it took me all this time to get properly turned here. Ah yeah, there are the torps. And it looks like I'm dodging them, that's nice. That is very nice. So, unfortunately the Jäger did survive. I could have tried to take a more aggressive approach, but with a Jäger, you know, you get that close, you are not going to dodge the fish, or you unlikely are going to dodge the fish. I was hoping we'd have the firepower to just take it down before it can escape. Unfortunately we didn't. Now the good news here is the enemy doesn't actually have a heal yet, which means they are not regenerating hit points. So this Jäger will stay at its low health. If I find it again, I can easily take it out. Meanwhile on the other side, I mean it's a shame that our two destroyers were abandoned and our team spent the entire time just running away there. On the other hand, our destroyers... I mean, if they just focus a bit more on the objectives and not taking quite an aggressive approach, they might even still be alive. But yeah, it would be really nice if those ships would just stop running and actually fight. And if they had backed up the destroyers, the right flank would have gone a lot better for us. You know, if I could hit that Jäger, that would also be nice. That would be really nice, but I guess I'm... oh. Yeah, like that. Just like that. Okay, so we are now equal on ships. The center is going to spawn soon, and our other flank is getting completely overrun. Now I have to be careful, there is a Worcester somewhere around here. We can see the Puerto Rico, so that's far away, but the Worcester is potentially getting closer. I presume it's still more like in the 7 line. But we will see. It's just so sad seeing those ships just constantly running. Like, we don't even have vision on the big ships they have, because our team is just not even interested in pretending to fight or store them. They've just completely given up. I mean, you know, I just have to say our destroyers were a bit too aggressive there, but I really feel sorry for them, right? Like, they could have done so much work if they had proper backup. Anyway, I've briefly been raided, but I have escaped. And those torps aren't gonna hit anything. But I can now contest the center, which is the plan. Now, I keep saying this because it's so important that center cap in this game mode is providing points like crazy. You get 300 points per minute, meaning in 3 minutes you would get 900 points, right? So if you're just a little bit outside and the enemy like caps that, there isn't really a, oh yeah, I'll just sail in there and contest them or so. No, you have to take this center seriously, and you need a ship there to fight for it. Now, of course, like if the enemy flips it and you're right next to it and you can keep it contested, that's fine. But you generally just want to make sure that the enemy never gets it. So anyway, the enemy is very aggressively pushing in here. There is a Puerto Rico coming closer. I mean, the Worcester Raider should be on cooldown and it's retreating, but it might just turn around. Now, the enemy destroyers are probably like harassing our running my battleships here, but as I've said, right, the center is too important. If I went down there and hunted those destroyers, it would just be an well, not instant, but it would be a defeat for us, because then nobody contests the center, the enemy takes it, and a few minutes later they'd reach 1,000 points. So I have no other option than to just stay in here and contest. Technically there's a Montana coming, which may or may not try to contest. We also have the Hayate, which once again may or may not try something. But the problem is the Worcester. The Worcester is no bank. And with how aggressively the Worcester is pushing, it can basically... well, it can cover the whole area. Now, after I've said how important this is, I'm here briefly leaving, but I can take that reload buff here, and then I can turn back in. We can't let them have the center, but it does also take a little bit of time, right? So just need to turn back in time. The Worcester has now been dealt with, so that... Oh, hello, Shima. Well, at least that's a free Shima kill for us, or should be. I do have some ships around, right? Yeah, there is some fire coming in there. And... Nice, they got it. Looks like I'm dodging there. There seems to be the Holland somewhere here towards my side, but... Oh, I told something. Very nice indeed. So, no time to hunt the Holland. I need to make sure that this cap doesn't fall. Yeah, here comes the Holland. My friend has raided in. As you can see, the Montana didn't actually come in here. The Hayate turned away again, so... It's basically just me for contesting here. I'm pretty healthy, and I do have smoke ready, so... I could actually take some shots at the Holland. Honestly, thinking about it, I should have already been shooting this Holland. And I came to the conclusion a bit late. But I could have shot that earlier. I had the smoke ready. And also I'm pretty healthy. I might even have smoked a little bit too early, honestly. Like, it's not like my vision is that needed, because if we could spot it, then my friend would also, like, do the spotting. Like if it shot back and we would spot it because it shot, right? But the Haaland just went for concealment anyway. Now I suppose I might be able to make some use of my smoke by shooting the Patry or something. And oh, am I going to sink a Schlieffen? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So maybe the smoke's not a total waste. But it might have been a little bit of an unnecessary use of smoke there. Well, hello Haaland fish. So overall, we are actually one ship behind, but we're doing very well on the buffs. So that's good news, I guess. Which means our slightly fewer ships are a bit more powerful on average. Now the Patry is coming in here. But it's probably maneuvering. I have only used one launcher here. I'm waiting a little bit what it's doing because, yeah, as expected, it's not just going in full speed. There's a Harugumo here on the other side that hopefully our Hayate will finish. Now, the Patry is slowing down a lot. I'm not sure if it's gonna go into reverse or it's gonna sit there. I just have my torps as close to this island as I can. And we will see if that does the trick or not. Now, the Hayate has taken out the Harugumo. That's going to be very important in the long run, probably. And I still have to watch out for all the Haaland. Could still try to torpedo me. Of course, I haven't been detected in a while, but you might just guess that I'm still here. And then there's the Puerto Rico. Oh, Haaland. Oh, Haaland, that's perfect timing. Well, perfect for me. A little less perfect for you, so I'm not... Well, I'm shooting now. But, I didn't need to shoot. So, there's the Puerto Rico. Yeah, that shooting was once again a bit questionable. The top did the trick anyway. But I guess I'm fine. If the Puerto Rico would have come around here sooner, it might have been a problem. I didn't even have a smoke to go into concealment. Now, speaking of that Puerto Rico, it's almost in radar range. So the plan here is, right, I can go forward and then can go around the island and then possibly re-enter the camp. Meanwhile, also I need to turn a bit here to leave some fish. Now, the Puerto Rico and the Patry are sailing towards each other, which means, you know, any torps launched against one of them could hit the other, depending on what they're doing, right? I mean, Puerto Rico and the Patry both might maneuver a bit here. Now, I've left the camp, but the Patry might even leave it as well. And if not, it's visible, so you'd expect the friendly team to interrupt it. There we go. That's one into the Puerto Rico. And there is the radar. Now, I'm relatively healthy and maybe I can even help take it down here. I'm also sailing... Oh, there is a fire. Lucky fire there. I'm also sailing sort of around this island. So I will have cover in a bit if it's needed. The enemy still hasn't got... Oh, double fire. Luck was with me there. Luck was with me there. Now, I've lost a fair amount of hit points, but I've made it behind the island, so I would have been in cover even if that Puerto Rico survived. I'm even getting some torps into the Patry. And I'm gonna recover some health with the heal. Speaking of, I can take another one. And I can even finally get the center, maybe. So there are plenty of buffs here still up for grabs. I can take one heal, then I can take one max hit points. And I mean, we have... There are 2 max hit points here, but we only can get one more. Then we will be at the limit. The second Patry is it AFK? Is it moving? I mean, our Hayate seems to be hunting it. No, it's moving, right. It's just not moving in a useful way. So the Patry around here has... Well, I'm not sure what its plans are. I mean, it's in a bad spot because it lost its radar. And, well, it lost the Puerto Rico. So now it has no longer any means of getting me detected. And you know, if you have to face a Shimmer there, it's going to be awkward. Because sooner or later it will probably get those torps into you. Now, of course, if that battery had supported its cruiser a bit more, then this might not have come to this. But it's, I mean, you know, it's only a tier 11 battleship, so obviously it had to take it careful, while its teammates were still alive. It wouldn't have wanted to tank for its team and keep them alive, right? So I got 2 torpedoes into it. That other salvo here will fail. Unfortunately, that means no Kraken. Kraken is definitely still a possibility though. There is 2 minutes and 20 remaining. Now we have taken the center cap, but the enemy is actually soon going to contest us. I mean, at this point, their only chance of winning is sinking all of us. And considering that the other partry is so far away. So I'm making a little bit of fun of this partry, but honestly it's a lot better than the other one. Like, the other one is truly useless. This one could have done a little bit better, but it is actually where the objective is, so we're gonna give this one credit, right? Meanwhile, oh, lucky fire there. It's a high caliber. Yeah, meanwhile the other partry is just... If that other partry was here as well, maybe they could even do something. But you can see in the short amount of time that we got the center cap just how much we extended our points lead. Honestly, the easy way to win would just be running north into the A line. Sticking around here is obviously a little bit risky, but then again, when you look at my smoke duration, right? My smoke duration is just about the same amount as the match length, which means I can stay into this smoke until the victory screen and I'll be fine. Now the enemy could still rush me, but at 2 kilometers I should at very least be able to take it with me. I could also try some YOLO stuff and so on, and I mean we have 3 ships left, right? That one patry there is... I mean maybe it can shoot the Friedrich a bit at some point. So I'm a bit torn here. The ultimate safe play is just running away. But I don't know, that Kraken is so tempting. I don't really want to risk much, but I wanna kind of a chance at it. Yeah, 30 seconds. I mean, it's fine. I'm not getting my Kraken, but I am getting a win. And a lovely win at that. So I can also reverse into one more buff, because, I mean, why not? Now we've got 12 seconds, that patry is just leaving. I mean, that patry could also have tried something. Maybe it just didn't wanna give me a chance at the Kraken. Who knows? So, while the Kraken was not unleashed, I got quite a bit of experience in this one. And gotta say, I'm quite happy with that outcome. And you know, I've just realized that those patries were actually divisioned, and that's interesting. They also came pretty high on the scoreboard, and yet they both threw the game, because especially since they were divisioned, they could have had a coordinated push. The second patry, while apparently doing quite a bit of damage, just utterly dropped the ball there in the end with actually doing something in the center in time. So yeah, they might have known how to shoot, but they had no idea how well, strategically or tactically the game works. So there is that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you next time.